You ever wake up thinking it's going to be a slow, quiet Monday, then 15 minutes later you're staring at a neon orange sticker slapped across your camper window that screams "Move it" or "Lose IT" like you've just been evicted from your own life? Yeah, that was how my week started. I live in a small town outside of Ashwood, Oregon, quiet cul-de-sac, 2 stop signs, 1 old diner, and a whole lot of friendly but nosy neighbors. I'd parked my camper along the curb right outside my house, where it's been for years whenever I prepped for fishing trips. Tags up to date, insurance current, nothing illegal about it. But that didn't stop her. Lucille Gardner, president of the Maple Grove Neighborhood Association and self-appointed sheriff of street aesthetics, from treating it like a crime scene. I stepped out with my morning coffee just in time to see her snapping pictures with that smug grin that only someone with a clipboard and zero chill can wear. She didn't even look at me when I said good morning, just pointed at the sticker and said, "You're in violation of Municipal Ordinance 12B.3, oversized recreational vehicles on residential roads." I blinked. Then I said, "This is my street. My home." She sniffed like I just spit in her begonias and replied, "You've got 72 hours before we tow." Here's the thing. I could have moved it. I could have parked it around the corner or tucked it behind the fence. But this wasn't about rules. This was about control. And Lucille? She'd made a full-time job out of making everyone miserable with rules no one voted for. Last year, she made old Mr. Becker repaint his garage twice because she said the gray looked sad. Find my neighbor Beth because her kids left sidewalk chalk drawings for more than 24 hours. She once tried to get someone evicted for planting tomatoes in the front yard. She lived for this stuff. And that morning, I decided I wasn't gonna roll over. I didn't just want to park my camper, I wanted to park it with purpose. So I went downtown to the county assessor's office. Just to poke around. Really. But the clerk there, guy named Dennis, pulled up the parcel maps and said, "Funny you ask. That stretch of road, technically still owned by a defunct developer that went belly up in 2006. Been in tax limbo ever since." My jaw dropped. I asked, "You mean it's for sale?" Dennis shrugged. "If you file the right paperwork, make the back payments, and bid at the trustee auction. Yeah, it could be." So that night, while Lucille was probably drafting a PowerPoint titled, "Why RVs Destroy Suburban Harmony," I was calling a real estate attorney and scraping together SAVYNGS. I didn't even tell my wife yet, partly because I wasn't sure it would work, and mostly because she already thinks I'm dramatic. By Tuesday afternoon, I'd wired the money. By Wednesday morning, I owned the street. The actual street. Potholes and all. My name, or rather, the name of my new LLC, Silver Pine Properties, was on the deed, filed with the county, sealed and stamped. Lucille strutted up at exactly 8 a.m. that day with another warning notice in hand. I let her tape it to the camper. Let her say tick-tock. Then I handed her a copy of the deed. She stared at it, looked at me, blinked. "What is this?" I said, "It's the street, Lucille. I bought it." She stormed off without another word, but I knew that wouldn't be the end of it. Not with someone like her. That night, the Maple Grove community chat exploded. She'd posted a dramatic rant titled, "Savying Our Streets," complete with photos of my camper, half-truths about property values, and claims that I had seized public infrastructure. One guy replied with a meme of her face photoshopped onto Napoleon. Another neighbor, Claire, asked if I could reserve a parking space for her food truck. I said yes. The next morning, I printed 20 copies of the deed, attached a friendly letter explaining the situation, and walked door to door handing them out. I didn't gloat, I mean, maybe just a little. Most people laughed, some nodded, and one guy actually gave me a six-pack and said, "Good." Someone needed to stand up to her. But Lucille? She doubled down. By Friday, a tow truck showed up. I was sipping coffee on my porch when I saw her marching up behind it like a general returning to the battlefield. She looked at the driver and said, "That's the one." The guy gave me a shrug. "Sorry, man. HOA called it in." I pulled out the deed, handed it to him, and said, "This is now private property. And I'm the owner." He read it, whistled low. "Welp, this ain't worth the paperwork." Got back in his truck and drove off. Lucille exploded. "You can't just buy a street," she yelled. "That's not how communities work." I replied, "Apparently it is. You should have read the county archives instead of harassing kids about sidewalk chalk." She sputtered something about safety and lawsuits, then stomped away muttering, "This isn't over." It wasn't. That weekend, I installed new signage, white and blue, very official. One read, "Private road access by permission only." Another, "No HOA enforcement beyond this point." I laminated flyers explaining the situation and offered parking permits to every neighbor. People started calling it Liberty Lane. By Sunday, someone spray-painted "trailer trash" on my camper in big red letters. Misspelled trash, but left out the second H. Real professional. I cleaned it up, installed a camera, and caught one of Lucille's board members sneaking around at 3 a.m. with a hoodie and a can of paint. I didn't press charges. Not yet. Then came the emergency HOA meeting. I wasn't invited, but Claire texted me updates. "She's calling you a corporate saboteur," she wrote. Also, she's crying. The next day, Lucille handed out petitions to reclaim the road under HOA control. Problem is, none of it had legal teeth. Just more noise. Her last move? A lawsuit. I got the notice on a Wednesday. Small claims court. She accused me of causing emotional distress, disrupting community cohesion, even triggering her dog's anxiety with my decorative speed bumps. My attorney actually laughed when he read it. "You want to counter?" he asked. "No," I said. "I'll let the facts speak." Court date comes. I show up in jeans and a collared shirt, documents in hand. Lucille rolls in wearing a pantsuit like she's running for HOA president of the galaxy. She's got a binder thicker than a Bible and doesn't even look at me. She speaks first, rambling about values, harmony, visual consistency. The judge nods politely, never interrupts. Then it's my turn. I calmly walk through the facts. I show the deed, the legal filing, the neighbor letters, photos of planters, painted lines, the snow cone machine I rented for the meet and greet. I finish with one line. "I didn't seize control, I gave it back to the community." The judge asks Lucille if she can provide any legal basis for her claims. She mumbles. Mentions assumed governance. The judge looks down, then up. Case dismissed. Defendant is free to maintain the property. Plaintiff is responsible for court costs. Lucille didn't say a word, just packed her binder and left the room without looking back. 2 weeks later, a MOVing truck pulled into her driveway before sunrise. By noon, she was gone. No goodbye, no flyers. Just gone. I hosted a small barbecue that weekend. Nothing fancy, burgers, some music, folding chairs. Jenna made cupcakes with tiny edible street signs that said freedom. Claire brought margaritas. And for the first time in years, the neighborhood felt alive. No clipboards. No warnings. Just people. Laughing. Talking. Levying. And me? I still park my camper in the same spot, under the same tree. It's got a new plate now. Just one word. Owner. I didn't do this for power. I did it because nobody should feel like a prisoner on their own street. Because peace isn't about rules, it's about respect. And maybe, just maybe, a waffle cone and a folding chair. So let me ask you, was I right to stand my ground? Or did I go too far? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about control, about neighborhoods, about the lines we draw and who gets to draw them. Because sometimes the fight isn't about parking. It's about who gets to tell you where you belong.